Welcome to this brief introduction of movers and shakers who impact our region and world. Some people call them rainmakers. Philanthropy has been a part of life on Earth for thousands of years, but only recently has philanthropy become a strategic part of business outreach. If there was ever a time, now is the time for all good companies to come to the aid of their communities. Over the next few minutes, representatives discuss their collaborations to create truly sustainable communities.
Our work is global. We are funding projects in 110 countries. We work with non-profit organizations all the way from China to Colombia and everything in between. Our job, my team and myself, are investing in specific efforts around the world in helping those that are in the underserved community through basic IT skills get economic and social empowerment so that they can get a leg up into either finding a job, starting a small business, a micro enterprise, or get socially empowered. So when I talk about investments, we actually look at it as an investment. It is a partnership that we develop, which is a long-term relationship that we engage in. So money is one factor, but we build capacity of individuals through training programs, through certification vouchers that we make available, through curriculum that we develop so these individuals can utilize it. We localize that curriculum in over 27 different languages, so it becomes much more appropriate. But then also what we do is we are able to bring the knowledge, talent, and skills of our employees to bear on the NGO community so that they can go out and volunteer into these, to these organizations. So there's a whole package that we bring. So we may partner, for example, with a government agency in a particular country, but it would be a joint project that we would be doing. So for example, we are partnering with USAID in a project in the Middle East, which actually ranges multiple countries there, focused on empowering women. And we're working with a nonprofit organization that we have co-funded in support of that activity. We might work with the government of India. We might work with the British government, where they are actually trying to reskill workers, given the economic challenges that we are facing around the globe.
But there are also social changes that are incredibly different for that particular culture. Are there challenges with that?
So I'll give you this story of a 79-year-old woman in Uganda. We had done some training with her, and I talked to her, and she said, "It's not your concern what happens to my man. That's my concern. I want you to train me. Why are you worrying about whether there will be domestic violence or not because I've got trained? Let me worry about it." So the question really is not necessarily look at it as men being trained or women being trained, but we provide training to a whole spectrum of individuals in the underserved community. In some cases, some of these nonprofit organizations that we support are focused on women. Some are focused on youth. Others are focused on entrepreneurship. We find organizations that are trusted in the community, have a track record of doing work in the community, and technology is an added layer to the work that they're doing. It's not about technology. It is about empowerment. Technology becomes a means for that empowerment, and that's really what we are focused on.
As someone who has worked around the world, how is it that so much global philanthropy with an interest outside of our region has centered here in the Seattle area?
I think that, this is a very unique community. It's a Scandinavian ethos. You can trace it back into history in terms of how some of the earlier developments happened, how the forefathers in the city were concerned about community development. And you got industries that got set up were by people who lived in that community who continuously mobilized to give back. So you've got generations after generations of people who are fundamentally interested in giving back. Boeing, UPS, now Microsoft, Gates Foundation. But there are just hundreds and hundreds of small organizations, including individuals who give up their time, fly out to Nepal, fly out to Bhutan, fly out to China to do work for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, their skills. Young kids are, finding a girls' school in Kenya and supporting them. My son and some of their friends just did a whole 2 days of raising school supplies for kids around the world at Crossroads here in Bellevue. So I believe there is something in the water here which is different, but I think that it is also the leadership of the community. The major leaders of that community have all stood up and said that if a society cares, you've got to give back. If you don't care, you don't give. So it's that which I believe fundamentally changes and even impacts Microsoft and our employees, where we've got 50,000 of them in this country that give back effectively year in after year in, which I think is the pride of what this community is all about, and which is why I believe Global Washington is such a wonderful effort for us to do, because it continues to promote and build on that.